Hello, everyone. This is Linda Binns, and welcome to another episode of Empowered Sensitivity, where each week we are exploring what it means to be highly sensitive, exploring the highly sensitive experience. I am known as the breakthrough energy expert. I've been working with energy, helping people understand their energy and the energy around them for over 26 years, primarily working with people who are highly sensitive. And so today's topic is how to cope with sensory overload. Sensory overload, what is it? It means taking in more information through the senses, really, than your brain can process easily. And that leads to this sense of being overwhelmed. Now, as we've discussed in a previous session, HSPs take in a lot more information than people who are not highly sensitive. We take in more information, we feel things a lot more deeply, we experience things a lot more intensely, and because of that, it's easy to become overwhelmed. So let me share a couple of comments from people who are highly sensitive, who are describing what this is. One person says, it's like I feel and see everything right now, and I'm overwhelmed to the point of throwing up. I can't sleep, I'm exhausted, everything is hard. I can't remember basic things, I'm burnt out. Another person said, I'm becoming aware that I take in information very quickly and in very large amounts, and I can go into overload mode very quickly. And another person described it as like, which I thought was a very good descriptor, it's like pouring a waterfall through a soda straw. And that's really what it feels like. It's just so much information, it's so intense that as you can understand it feels, to me, sometimes it feels like an assault. It can be too much noise, too many people, too much energy around you, lots of things going on at once. It could be world events. For example, for me, I know that, have you ever had that experience of somebody who talks a lot, just a naturally talkative person, who's constantly talking to you? It feels like it's not talking to you, but sort of talking at you, and that feels to me, it's almost like a verbal assault. It's coming so intensely. So when you feel this, when you get to the state of feeling overwhelmed, you can feel really powerless. Now, some people I know, for example, live in apartments, and so in order to get peace and quiet, or in order to work effectively, they will go to a coffee shop to work. I can't do that. Coffee shops are too overwhelming to me. Well, first of all, I don't drink coffee, but I know they have tea. But it is too overwhelming in an environment like that, and I really can't focus. Now, this time of year is a good example of when you can go into a feeling of sensory overload, because there's so much going on. There's all the Thanksgiving stuff, there's all the Christmas stuff, there's the gift giving, the shopping, the cooking, the eating, the expectations of perhaps a family that you spend your time with them. So you can go into sensory overload. So it's important to learn how to master your energy and learn how to not put yourself in those situations. Of course, there are going to be times when you can't help but be in those situations. And in that case, what I do is I prepare myself before I know I'm going into a situation like that. So I take care of my energy beforehand. And then when the experience is over and I am feeling in that sense, that state of sensory overwhelm, then I take care of myself afterwards. So it takes some planning. It's inevitable that it's going to happen at some point. You can't avoid it all the time. So what can you do when it does happen? Well, I think you have to have some grounding strategies, something that helps you to reset and ground yourself. And it's important to know what those are for you. Knowing what will calm and recenter you during those times when everything feels like it's too much, when you have those tools and that knowledge and awareness that you can do something about it, that's really helpful. Now, there are many different types of strategies to help you ground yourself. And here are some examples. These are all excellent, but it's important to find your own and to know what works for you. And you can use one or any combination, of course, of these things. Exercise can be a great thing for helping you to reset and ground yourself. I love to play tennis, and I know if I've had a stressful day, going and playing tennis can really help me. The running around, the hitting the ball, being around friends, it's all helping me to reset. Or something like yoga, or going for a walk. Those are all good grounding physical things that I love to do. Meditation, of course, is a great one. Meditational prayer. Journaling is another one. I find it's really helpful when you've got so many thoughts going around in your head that to just write through them, write it all down, because that way you get it out of your head, out of your body, and onto paper. So that's very helpful. Spending time in nature, you can't go wrong with that. Just being outside with trees, with birds, just being outside in nature is very healing, and that will help you to reset. Being with animals is another one. If you have pets, they are amazing for helping you to get your energy back. Breath work, doing specific types of breathing, or just even really not even necessarily having to do specific breathing exercises, but just paying attention to your breath and being aware of your breathing. Of course, there are many breathing techniques, but simply being aware of your breathing is a very helpful thing to do. Then, of course, there's energy work, getting some energy healing, perhaps Reiki or something like that, or some other kind of modality like acupuncture or a massage, or anything really that really helps to re-energize your body and reset your body. Somebody recently told me that writing is her go-to method, she said, of keeping sane. And somebody else I know loves to play music. She actually plays the piano. Somebody else I know plays another musical instrument. Somebody else I know prefers dance. And the thing is, if you ensure that you incorporate those things regularly into your daily life, rather than waiting until you experience the sensory overload before you use them, just incorporate them into your daily life. That's going to help your energy be more grounded anyway. So knowing what your grounding strategies are, what works for you, is very important. Self-care is important. Taking care of your energy is very important. See, when you reach that state of overload and overwhelm, you really can't function effectively, and you cannot be at your best. Can you push through it when something like that happens? Yes, sometimes you can, and I have. But it really is exhausting, and it's not good for your body, physically, mentally, emotionally. It's not good for you at all. But yes, you can if you have to. But again, once you've done that, then you have to know your grounding strategies so that you can reset your energy afterwards. It's very depleting, because we only have so much energy, and when it's depleted, it's gone. So we have to find ways of getting that back again. And people often talk about, filling your bucket. It's like you have a bucket full of energy, let's say, and when that's depleted and there's nothing left, you've got to find a way to fill that up again. So what are your go-to grounding strategies? How do you like to overcome overwhelm or sensory overload? This is how you thrive as a highly sensitive person, by understanding your trait, by understanding what high sensitivity means for you so that you can master your energy and the energy around you. If you would like to have a conversation about what is the best approach for you, please send me a direct message or send me an email to linda@lindabins.com, and I thank you for watching. Next week, we're going to talk about something else that's very high on the agenda for highly sensitive people, and that is dealing with criticism and rejection, something I'm quite familiar with. So I hope you will tune in or be sure to catch the recording. Thanks for watching.